My roommate was a jock with massive biceps and the personality of a typical straight guy. Funny thing was, I was straight too. We'd been living in the same dorm room for 3 years now, but hardly ever talked. Lately, though, I started noticing something off about the way he looked at me. Especially tonight. He suddenly blurted out, "Give it up. I'm not letting you have a taste of my big jock muscles." I blinked. What the hell was that supposed to mean? And more importantly, why the hell was he blushing? Welcome to He History channel. Subscribe to follow all our latest adventures. Story begins. I was lounging on my bed, happily sucking on a lollipop while binge-watching anime. Out of nowhere, my jock roommate, who was sitting on the right, suddenly let out a weird muffled noise, kind of like a suppressed groan, and clapped a hand over his mouth. I turned to look at him. His ears and cheeks were flushed bright red, and for some reason, he was staring dead at the lollipop in my hand like it had just insulted his ancestors. I blinked in confusion. That's when he blurted out, "Cut it out already. I don't care how good you are at this. I'm not letting you taste my monster muscles." But what the hell was that supposed to mean? Also, why the hell was he blushing? I glanced at him, then at the lollipop in my hand. It was a weird-looking one. Mushroom-shaped, kind of suggestive now that I thought about it. My buddy had sent it to me as a prank after seeing it in a TikTok, gross candy, unboxing. His idea of a joke was getting cursed candy in my mouth just to hear me yell at him. Joke's on him, I didn't even flinch. If anything, I kind of found it funny. So I unwrapped it and started sucking it like it was any other lollipop. But my roommate, what the hell was his deal? What monster muscles? What the hell was he not letting me eat? I didn't get it. Austin Montgomery's reaction, though, was kind of hilarious. I didn't understand what was going on, but damn, it was entertaining. I raised an eyebrow and deliberately took another long, noisy slurp of my lollipop right in front of him. His eyes widened, his blush deepened, and the next second, "Logan Whitaker, what the fuck?" He practically bolted, grabbing a towel and making a break for the bathroom like he was fleeing a crime scene. Slam. The door shut so hard the wall probably cried. I sat there blinking, lollipop stick in my mouth, anime still playing, utterly baffled. This was the same guy who could knock over 3 players on the court without breaking a sweat, and now he was acting like some flustered bride being teased? What the hell just happened? The sound of the shower ran for nearly half an hour. By the time Austin came out, I'd finished the episode, finished the lollipop, and was now chewing on the empty plastic stick, thinking about the plot twist. He was dripping wet, towel around his neck, tank top and shorts clinging to his ridiculously built body. His eyes darted everywhere except in my direction as he sat down at his desk. He picked up his phone and started swiping like his life depended on it. I caught a glimpse. The screen wasn't even on. This dude was pretending. And the more I thought about it, the weirder everything felt. I cleared my throat. "Hey, Austin Montgomery?" He visibly stiffened. "Yeah?" he grunted, not turning around. "That thing you said earlier. What did you mean? Monster muscles? Seduction?" I was dying of curiosity here. He slowly turned to look at me, eyes wide in disbelief, like I just asked him to recite his porn search history. His expression was some twisted mix of panic, humiliation, and righteous fury. You're still asking? Am I not supposed to?" I said, baffled. I was literally just sitting here, eating a lollipop, watching anime, and suddenly you accused me of seducing you? I feel like I deserve an explanation, man. He opened and closed his mouth like a fish, then finally muttered, You seriously don't know what monster muscles are? Aren't they just muscles? Like big muscles? His face went through several shades of complicated emotions in rapid succession: relief, frustration, and something else I couldn't quite place. He raked a hand through his damp hair, avoiding my eyes. I was just talking nonsense, okay? Training's messed with my head. Forget I said anything. Like, seriously lame. I narrowed my eyes at him and twirled the plastic stick between my fingers, giving him a slow once-over. He squirmed under my gaze, muscles tensing like he was bracing for impact. "Oh," I drawled, intentionally obnoxious. So what you meant was, you were gonna let me taste your monster muscles, huh? Austin Montgomery didn't peg you for the type. Bullshit. He practically leapt out of his chair, blushing so hard it reached down to his damn collarbones. Like hell I would. Keep dreaming. Then explain what you did mean, I said, leaning forward with a smirk. I'm all ears. He stammered, looked like he was about to combust, then bolted. I need air. And just like that he fled the room again. I sat back, stunned. This was bizarre. This guy, Austin Montgomery. Usually in the dorm he had two moods, passed out corpse or full-on narcissist admiring himself in the mirror. Never said much. Rarely smiled. And now he was putting on a full emotional roller coaster over a lollipop? Something was off. Really off. Frowning, I pulled out my phone, opened the browser, and hesitated. Then I typed in 3 words, monster muscle slang. Page loaded. And there it was. A series of explanations. And pictures. Explicit ones. I stared. Silence. Oh hell no. That's what monster muscles meant? I glanced down at the illustration, then remembered the exact shape of the lollipop I'd been licking. The dots started connecting. Why he'd been staring at it. Why he blushed. Why he accused me of seduction. Why he sprinted into the shower like he'd been hit by a truck. I sat frozen for a beat, then chucked the plastic stick in the trash like it was radioactive. My ears were burning now. God damn it. This was one hell of a misunderstanding. Now that I knew the truth, I couldn't look at Austin Montgomery the same way. Ever since that day, he seemed to have activated some bizarre kind of defense protocol around me. Like just now. If I so much as strolled around the dorm in just my boxers while searching for a clean shirt, he'd instantly hurl a towel or shirt at my face like a reflex, barking in this stiff, authoritarian tone. Put something on. You'll catch a cold. I caught the shirt midair, completely confused. Bro, the heat's blasting. It's practically 90 in here. He refused to look at me, eyes glued to the wall like there was something blooming on the paint. Doesn't matter. It's still inappropriate. Inappropriate for who? I muttered. It's just the two of us in here. You worried about corrupting your own straight guy soul? Another time, I made some instant noodles late at night. I guess the slurping got a bit loud. From the other side of the room, he kept tossing and turning until he finally sat bolt upright in bed and hissed, Logan Whitaker, can you not eat so loud? I stared at him over the rim of my noodle cup. Dude, have you tried eating ramen quietly? It's physically impossible. His chest was heaving like I'd just personally offended his ancestors, but all he managed was a strangled, just be quieter. Then he yanked the blanket over his head. But the most dramatic moment? I dropped a pen on the floor once, bent down to grab it. My shirt collar sagged a bit. The moment I straightened up, Austin, who was sitting across from me, suddenly shot up like he'd been electrocuted. The table nearly flipped with how fast he moved. I'm going to train. He snatched up his gym bag and bolted out the door like a panicked cartoon character, arms flailing, feet stumbling, the tips of his ears bright crimson. I just sat there blinking. Seriously, what was up with this dude? I couldn't take it anymore. Not because I was scared of him or anything. It was just exhausting. And honestly, watching this 6-foot-something mass of muscle blush and panic like some bashful maiden every time he thought I was seducing him was starting to feel weirdly adorable. What the hell was I thinking? I needed to talk to him. That night, Austin came back from training and, as usual, avoided eye contact like I was some kind of radioactive hazard and headed straight for the sink. I put down my phone. Austin Montgomery. He froze. His shoulders stiffened, and he didn't look back. What? Can we talk? There's nothing to talk about, he said quickly, already retreating toward the bathroom. About the whole monster muscle and lollipop thing, I added casually. He stopped dead in his tracks, like someone had cast a freezing spell on him. After a few seconds, he slowly turned around. His expression was grim, like a man walking into a firing squad. What do you want to talk about? I pointed to the chair next to me. Sit. He dragged his feet over, posture tense, muscles clenched like I'd just challenged him to a duel instead of a conversation. I sighed and rubbed my temples. Look, did you maybe misunderstand something? He stiffened. Misunderstand what? That day. With the lollipop. I tried to keep my voice as chill and bro level as possible. My buddy sent it to prank me. It was a joke. Yeah, it looked weird, but I wasn't trying to seduce you. Austin's face turned red again, impressively fast. How was I supposed to know that? He muttered, barely audible. I almost laughed. What, you think I did it on purpose? If I'd known what the hell monster muscle meant, I would have chucked that damn thing at your face right then and there. His eyes widened, clearly not expecting me to say it so bluntly. So, you really didn't know? No shit. I huffed. I literally Googled it afterward. Do you hear yourself? You're the one jumping to conclusions over a piece of candy. What kind of stuff is constantly running through your head, man? You sure I'm the weird one here? That hit a nerve. He puffed up like a balloon about to pop. I'm not the weird one. I'm straight. Straight. I threw my hands up. So am I. We stared at each other, the absurdity of the situation hanging in the air like smoke. So can we just go back to being normal? I said finally. No more freaking out whenever I eat something or bend over or whatever. Seriously, it's giving me anxiety. He looked at me, expression flickering between suspicion, confusion, and, wait, was that disappointment? No way. I must have imagined it. After a long pause, he finally slumped in defeat. Got it, he muttered. Then he stood up, putting his usual cool guy expression back on, though the tips of his ears were still a giveaway. I won't bring it up again. With that, he walked off to the bathroom. This time, the shower didn't run as long. I leaned back in my chair, letting out a long breath. That settled, I think. Turns out, I had severely underestimated the power of human imagination, especially when it came to someone like Austin Montgomery, a jock who looked like he had two brain cells to rub together, but whose internal drama could probably fill an entire Netflix series. On the surface, things seemed to have calmed down between us. He stopped flipping out whenever I made a sound. He even stopped tossing shirts at me like I was trying to seduce him just by existing. But a new problem emerged. He started watching me. I'd be at my desk gaming, and I could feel it, this invisible line of heat at my back, like someone's gaze was glued there. When I turned around, he was either staring at his phone or doing stretches with the intensity of someone training for the Olympics. I'd be out on the balcony hanging laundry. Through the reflection on the glass, I'd catch him leaning casually against the doorway, arms crossed, eyes locked on me like he was thinking something, God knows what. The moment I turned around, he'd snap his head away like the ceiling suddenly became fascinating. The worst was one night when I woke up around 2 a.m. In my half-dreamy haze, I sensed movement from across the room. I squinted toward his bed. And there he was, Austin Montgomery, lying on his side, facing my direction, his eyes practically glowing in the dark. Jesus Christ, I almost had a heart attack. It was worse than his usual jumpy antics. This was silent, creepy, intense. I felt like prey under surveillance. It was getting unnerving. Things took a sharp turn one weekend. The hot water pipes in our dorm burst. Maintenance said it'd take at least a full day to fix. In the middle of winter, that was practically a death sentence. Austin, who literally couldn't go 24 hours without showering, was clearly on the verge of a meltdown. So he hit up a buddy from the sports college across town. They still had hot water, and made plans to borrow their shower. Right before heading out, he hesitated at the door and, for the first time in forever, actually spoke to me first. Hey, Logan Whitaker. You want to come with me? I blinked. Me? To the sports college? Yeah. He nodded, trying to play it cool, but his fingers were nervously picking at the strap of his gym bag. Whatever, doesn't matter. One more won't make a difference. I thought about it. My skin was sticky and gross. I did need a shower. And I'd heard the other school's facilities were pretty solid. Sure. His shoulders relaxed, like he'd been holding his breath. His eyes even lit up a little. Let's go. It wasn't until we got to their bathhouse that I realized something. It was a communal bathhouse. We'd lived together for 3 years, but we'd never actually seen each other naked. Our own dorms had private showers. Everyone did their own thing, no awkward moments. But now we were standing in a humid, echoing chamber full of steam and splashing water and a whole lot of very naked men. It hit me a bit late, but yeah, this was kind of awkward. Especially with him standing right next to me. Austin, on the other hand, didn't seem fazed in the slightest. He stripped down in 3 smooth, unapologetic moves, like he was filming a goddamn fitness commercial. And damn it, the guy had the kind of body sculpted by divine punishment. Years of intense training had carved him into the classic V-shape, broad shoulders, narrow waist, defined lines everywhere. Beads of water rolled down his bronze-toned skin, tracing the ridges of his chest and abs before disappearing farther down. I looked away, fast, feeling an uncomfortable heat creep up my neck. Jesus. We're both guys. Why was I even looking? I avoided eye contact as I peeled off my clothes and picked a showerhead a decent distance away. The hot water hit my skin, and I let out a relieved sigh. I closed my eyes and tried to focus on the warmth, not the very large, very exposed human presence just a few feet away. But some things you just can't ignore. Like the feeling of eyes on you. Through the haze of steam, I could feel Austin watching me. It wasn't like before. This time it was direct. Blatant. Hot enough to burn. I'd had enough. I wiped the water from my face and turned to glare at him. Are you done staring yet? Through the fog, I could see his face, flushed from the heat, or maybe not just the heat. His eyes dragged down my body, slow and unfiltered. His throat bobbed in a swallow. Logan Whitaker, he said, voice low and even. You've got a pretty nice ass. The world paused. All the noise in the bathhouse, chatter, water, footsteps, just sort of dropped out for a second. My ears rang. I stared at him. He stared right back. And in that moment, his gaze was stripped of all pretense. No embarrassment. No denial. Just raw, unfiltered honesty, and a hunger that barely hid itself. A beat passed. Then another. And I realized he wasn't joking. He meant it. And I had no idea what to do with that. I shut off the water, grabbed a towel, and wrapped it around my waist. Then I walked straight over to him. Austin Montgomery, I said, standing right in front of him, what the hell do you want from me? He froze. His eyes flickered with panic, but he didn't look away. Whatever he was about to say got drowned out by the sudden roar of a nearby showerhead turning on full blast. I stepped closer. So close our chests were nearly touching. I asked you, I repeated, voice low and sharp, what the hell do you want? Austin Montgomery, are you seriously still calling yourself straight? What kind of straight guy stares at his bro's ass like that? His gaze faltered and he instinctively stepped back. His foot slipped on the wet tile and he almost fell. I reached out to steady him, but he was faster. His hand clamped tight around my wrist. I don't know, he said, voice shaking. His eyes locked onto mine, wild with confusion and something else, something raw. Logan Whitaker, I swear to God, I don't know. I just think you. He choked on the words. His face flushed bright red. His eyes flicked downward, to my lips, and then jumped away like he'd been burned. Shit. I knew that look. Even if I'd never eaten the pig, I'd damn well seen it run. That wasn't how a straight guy looked at his friend. The steam in the bathhouse swirled between us, clouding my thoughts. I stared at his face, now impossibly close. His eyes looked damp, shiny, almost like he was pleading. My frustration started to fizzle. Something weirder took its place. It was like a feather brushing the softest part of my chest. Ticklish. Unsettling. I didn't pull my hand away. Instead, I leaned in just a little. Our noses nearly touched. What do you think about me, exactly? I asked, my voice dropping an octave without me meaning to. Come on. Say it. His Adam's apple bobbed like it was trying to escape his throat. And then he whispered, I think you tempt me. Eating candy? Tempting. Slurping noodles? Tempting. Bending over? Tempting. Even in the damn shower, you're still tempting. The words spilled out of him in one breath, like they'd been caged for too long. Then he froze. His hand loosened on my wrist. He looked stunned by what he'd just said, like he couldn't believe the words had actually come out of his own mouth. I stared at him, this mess of a man, equal parts muscle and meltdown, and felt that strange emotion well up again, rising faster now, sharper. God help me, I kind of wanted to laugh. So what you're saying, I said slowly, is that you've got inappropriate thoughts about me? His face went through a slideshow of shades, from red to pale, back to crimson. His lips moved like he was about to argue. But no words came out. After a few seconds of painful silence, he suddenly let go of my wrist and darted back under the shower, cranking the water up to full blast. The cascade of water crashed down on him, soaking everything. He just stood there, head bowed, letting the spray pound him like he was hoping it would wash the moment away. I stayed where I was, watching his back. And in my head all I could think was, shit, this just got really real. The walk back from the bathhouse was icy. Austin stormed ahead a few paces, shoulders stiff, steps quick and clipped like he was trying to outrun his own thoughts. He didn't say a single word. When we got back to the dorm, he climbed straight into bed, turned to face the wall, and pulled the blanket over himself like he was turning into a cocoon. I didn't bother with him. Toweled my hair, sat at my desk, turned on my computer. But the screen meant nothing. All I could see was his face back in the bathhouse, flushed, desperate, gripping my wrist as he blurted, "You tempt me." I could still feel the heat of his palm. Still see the panic in his eyes. Damn it. I raked a hand through my hair, agitated. What the hell was this? Getting looked at like that? By another guy? By my roommate of all people? Should have grossed me out. Should have made me push him away, draw the line hard and fast. But instead, after the shock wore off, I just felt... I shook my head violently. Nope. That bathhouse was way too hot. It fried my brain. That had to be it. The next few days? Austin entered full ostrich mode. He acted like I didn't exist. Wouldn't look at me. Wouldn't talk to me. Actively avoided sharing the same air. If I walked into the room, he was either already asleep or suddenly had urgent training to get to. He even timed his bathroom use so we'd never run into each other by accident. The dorm turned into a silent movie. Sure, we'd never been big on small talk before, but at least it didn't feel like we were two ghosts haunting the same space. I figured he'd cool off after a few days. Pull himself together and act normal again. But that didn't happen. But a full week passed and his state didn't improve. It got worse. That night, I couldn't take it anymore. I went downstairs, bought a cold can of beer, and headed to the back of the dorm building to cool off. Just as I cracked the tab open, I heard voices coming from the bushes nearby, low, hushed, and oddly familiar. "Austin, what's up with you lately? You've been totally out of it. Spacing out during practice, coach has been chewing you out non-stop." It was one of Austin Montgomery's teammates, a younger guy he was pretty close with. Then I heard Austin's voice. Bruh. Irritated. "It's nothing." "Bullshit," the guy said. "Come a minute. Talk to me. Did you get dumped or something? What girl's crazy enough to turn down you, huh?" Austin went quiet. Then, with a voice even lower than before, raspy, like he hated every word coming out of his mouth, he said, "I didn't get dumped. I think I'm just losing my damn mind." "What?" "I mean it," Austin said, voice cracking. "I think I've caught feelings for someone I really shouldn't." Silence. Then the younger guy hesitantly asked, "You mean like someone married?" "Fuck off." "Okay. The what?" "That chick from our rival school? The captain of the women's basketball team? Didn't you two hit it off after the game?" "It's not her," Austin snapped. There was real pain in his voice now, raw and unfiltered. "It's not any of them. It's a guy." And just like that, the world went quiet. Even the wind stopped moving. Several seconds passed before the younger guy stammered, "A G guy? Austin, are you kidding right now?" Austin didn't respond. All I could hear was his breathing, heavy, ragged, like he was choking on something he couldn't say out loud. His teammate tried again, voice more cautious this time. "Is it someone on our team? Do I know him?" "Don't ask," Austin muttered. Doesn't matter who. It's not like it could ever happen anyway. And with that, he ran off, footsteps pounding the pavement as he disappeared into the dark. I stood against the cold brick wall, my beer forgotten in my hand, my head buzzing. Austin Montgomery had admitted it, out loud, with his own voice. He really did have those feelings, for me. And oddly, now that I had confirmation, I felt calm. Weirdly calm. So what now? Was I supposed to confront him? Say, sorry man, I'm straight. You need to let this go? My mind was a mess by the time I got back upstairs, the beer still unopened. When I pushed the door open, Austin was already back. His back was to me mid-change. The moment he heard the door, he stiffened. He scrambled to pull his shirt down, then turned around with a startled look before immediately glancing away, grabbing a towel. I'm just gonna wash up, he muttered, already half-speed walking to the bathroom. Austin Montgomery, I called. He froze in place. Didn't turn around. I walked over, stopping just behind him. We need to talk. His shoulders tensed. There's nothing to talk about, he muttered, barely audible. It's about what you said downstairs, I continued. The part about liking someone you shouldn't. He slowly turned. His face had gone pale, eyes wide with horror. You heard that? I nodded. Yeah. Didn't mean to. Just happened. His expression crumpled. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. Finally, like something inside him had just collapsed, he looked down, his voice a whisper. I'm sorry. Logan Whitaker, I'm really sorry. I'm just a fucking freak. You don't have to say anything, I'll move out. He turned, reaching for the door. Watching him like that, panicked, ashamed, already halfway out the room, something twisted inside my chest. Without thinking, I reached out and grabbed his arm. Wait. He stopped. Stared at me like he couldn't believe I'd touched him. His eyes were red. Shiny. Something in me flickered. 3 years of living together flashed through my mind. And strangely, I didn't feel disgusted. In fact, my heart was beating faster. Who said you're a freak? Sit steady. Who said I was disgusted? His voice cracked. Logan, you don't have to pretend, okay? I know I'm fucked. I shouldn't have. I'll go talk to the administrator first thing tomorrow and… Did I ask you to move out? I cut in. Is running the only thing you know how to do? You ran out of the bathhouse and now you're trying to run again. What the hell else am I supposed to do? He shouted suddenly, eyes blazing, voice hoarse. I like my fucking roommate. The guy. What the hell am I supposed to do? Get hard every damn day and just go take a cold shower after. The words hit like a hammer. My ears burned. But, weirdly, I wasn't angry. And I wasn't grossed out. Not even close. Then why are you running now? I stared at him. You gonna run off before we've even talked this through? Talk about what? That I like you? That I want to kiss you, hold you, fuck you? And then what? You think that changes anything? You're straight, aren't you? I was straight. I thought I was 20 minutes ago. But now, looking into his bloodshot eyes, hearing his uneven breath, feeling the heat radiating from his arm against mine, I wasn't so sure anymore. I don't know, I said honestly. My heart was beating way too fast. But, can you give me a little time to process this? Austin Montgomery stared at me like I just punched the sun. His Adam's apple bobbed once, twice, then again. He spoke like he didn't believe what he was hearing. You mean, you're not sentencing me to death right now? I looked away, a little awkward. Death sentence? You didn't commit a crime. Logan Whitaker. He said my name like a prayer and a plea, spinning around to grab my wrist with a force that startled me. Look at me. I did. His expression was tangled, messy, vulnerable. Do you hate me? Think I'm disgusting? I took a breath, really thought about it, then shook my head. No. And I meant it. If I was disgusted, I would have shaken him off already. Wouldn't still be standing here, letting him hold on to me like I was the only solid ground he had left. His eyes lit up. Just a flicker. Then, can I? He leaned in a little, his breath warm on my face. There was a cautious kind of hope in his voice. Can I kiss you? My heart skipped a beat. Seriously? That direct? I swallowed, eyes drawn to his lips, so close. Flashes ran through my mind. The lollipop. The bathhouse steam. The way he'd looked at me, all those moments, now falling into place. I don't even know why, but I shut my eyes. And nodded. A second later, that heat moved in. His lips touched mine, soft, dry, trembling. Just a press, not even moving. Hesitant. Like he was afraid he'd break something. My heart slammed against my ribs. Blood rushed straight to my head. So this was what it felt like to be kissed by a guy. It wasn't gross. It felt kind of warm. He held the kiss for a few seconds, then pulled back just slightly. His breathing was ragged, hot on my skin. His eyes locked on mine, voice hoarse. Was that okay? I didn't answer. I didn't know what to say. My brain was a damn traffic jam. But my body didn't need instructions. I licked my lips, dry, tingling, barely brushing against his as I did. That tiny movement must have flipped a switch. Austin kissed me again. This time, it wasn't hesitant. I instinctively parted my lips, and his tongue slipped in like it had been waiting for the chance. My knees almost gave out. I backed into the door with a soft thump, and he immediately caught me, one hand behind my head, the other tightening around my waist like he'd die if I slipped away. Our bodies pressed together, no space left between us. His chest rose and fell fast against mine. And yeah, there it was. The monster muscle. Shit. Already? My face burned. I meant to push him away, but my arms had other ideas. His kiss deepened, dizzying, overwhelming. I was barely holding on. So this was kissing? Way more intense than I ever imagined. I don't know how long it lasted. At some point, when I thought I might actually pass out, he finally pulled back. Forehead resting against mine, both of us gasping like we just run a damn marathon. Logan Whitaker? I caught my breath, looked up. His eyes were glazed, lips kiss-swollen and flushed. He actually looked kind of hot. Still planning to move out? I asked. He blinked, then shook his head like a kid who just got offered a second chance. No. Not moving. Not even if you drag me. Then what about? I glanced downward, then snapped my head back up, ears burning. This situation? His face flushed instantly, bright red, creeping down to his neck. His eyes darted away, but his body? Pressed in even closer. The monster muscle was very much still there. I should go take a cold shower, he muttered, already starting to let go. I don't know what possessed me. Maybe I'd finally snapped. But the words were out before I could stop them. You think a shower's gonna fix this now? The second I said it, I regretted it. What the hell was that supposed to mean? His body went completely still. He looked at me. And suddenly, his eyes were darker. Slower. Like I'd just lit a fuse. Two slow-burning flames rose behind his gaze. And they were aimed squarely at me. His Adam's apple bobbed. Logan Whitaker, do you even realize what you just said? At that point, I'd already crossed the line. No point pretending. We'd made out like our lives depended on it. What kind of straight guy even was I anymore? So I stared straight into his eyes and went all in. I murmured, weren't you dying to let me try your so-called monster muscle? Austin Montgomery froze. His eyes went comically wide. Logan Whitaker. Before I could react, he scooped me up, bridal style. Jesus Christ! I shouted, instinctively wrapping my arms around his neck. What the hell are you doing? Doing you, he growled, jaw clenched, as he carried me in long strides toward his bed. When he pushed me down, there was only one thought running through my head. He's a real deal jock. I've got a whole noodle body. I might not survive this. W8. I planted my hand on his chest, and promptly touched a wall of burning hot, rock-hard muscle. Are you even sure you know what you're doing? He paused. A flicker of embarrassment flashed across his face, but the heat in his eyes never wavered. I've never done it, he admitted, voice husky, breath grazing my ear, but I've seen it plenty. Oh yeah. I huffed. What kind of research were you watching exactly? His throat worked, his lips at my ear. Don't worry. I won't hurt you. Long story short, let's just skip the next 3,000 words. He wasn't exactly skilled, but jocks learn fast. And their stamina? Terrifying. By the time I was able to think straight again, it was already late afternoon the next day. I lay half dead on his disaster of a bed, body feeling like it had been dismantled and reassembled with spare parts. Austin was curled up behind me, one arm locked around my waist, his head buried against my neck, breathing slow and heavy. He was asleep. I shifted just barely. His grip instantly tightened. "Don't go," he mumbled. "I'm not." My voice was barely a rasp. He stirred, lifting his head slightly. Eyes glossy, satisfied, a little nervous. "Logan Whitaker?" "Yeah." "What are we now?" he asked quietly. I rolled over to face him. Looking at his anxious face, all my internal awkwardness just faded. Seriously, after everything we'd just done, still pretending to stress about being straight felt ridiculous. I snorted. "We're whatever the hell you always wanted us to be." Then, with zero energy, I kicked him lightly in the shin. "From now on, your monster muscle? Mine." He blinked. Then his eyes practically exploded with light. His grin split ear to ear. He yanked me into a crushing hug, peppering my face with sloppy kisses. "That's yours. All yours." "Back off, you furnace," I grumbled, half-heartedly pushing him away. But I was laughing too. Later, I called the guy who sent me that cursed prank lollipop. He picked up instantly, voice greasy with anticipation. "Yo, Logan Whitaker. How was it? Bet you freaked out and tossed it, huh?" I glanced at the man beside me, currently peeling an apple like a model boyfriend. "Didn't toss it," I said casually. Then what did you do with it?" "I used it to get a boyfriend." Silence. 3 seconds later, the guy on the other end screamed, "What the fuck? Are you serious? A guy? You? What the hell happened?" "Yeah, serious. A guy. My roommate actually. He completely short-circuited." Wait, Austin Montgomery? That jock? Weren't you, like, the straightest straight dude ever?" I took the apple slice Austin handed me and bit into it. "Used to be," I said with a smile. "Now I'm slightly curved." There was a long, stunned silence on the other end of the line. Then finally, a reverent whisper. "Legendary. That candy was blessed by the gods." I hung up. Austin leaned over, brighty. "What did your buddy say?" I stuffed the last bite of apple into his mouth and grinned. He said, "Hope you two live happily ever after." The end.
Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos.